And e-marketplace. What is a e-marketplace? Website or application where transaction occurs. So if you want to do online transactions, if you want to do order something, we need a marketplace. We need electronic marketplace. For example, Amazon is a marketplace where we can buy the products through online. Okay, that is a marketplace. That third one is customers. Customers are the people who buy the products, goods and services. And end user of the product is called customer or consumer. Okay. So technology infrastructure, hardware, software enabling e-commerce systems. So without technology, we cannot establish a e-marketplace. Without technology, we cannot develop a application for the goods and services. Without technology, we cannot create any website to get the orders, to get the details of the product, to render the services to the customers. Okay, payment gateway. Okay, secure online payment services. So, online payment is a part of e-commerce. When a customer has bought product from the Amazon, he has to pay through the online mode. So, then payment gateway should be secure and online payment should be secure. For example, Razopay, PayPal, okay, Phone Pay, Google Pay, uh, online transactions like online banking, net banking. So these are all comes under payment gateways. Logistics. So after placing an order, that product should be delivered to the customer. So to deliver the product, logistics are very important. Delivery and inventory management systems. So delivery the goods and services to the customer is very important. So these are the main components of the e-commerce. One is supplier, e-marketplace, customers, technology infrastructure, payment gateways, and logistics. So types of e-commerce already we have discussed that B2B business to business. For example, Alibaba company, business to consumer. For example, Amazon company, customers to customer. For example, eBay and OLX. So these companies are example for customer to customer. Customer to business. For example, Upwork. Customer to business means any business is approach to the freelancer. The freelancer will helps to the business. So this is a example of customer to business. So architectural framework. So architectural framework of e-commerce. So an architectural framework defines the structure and operations of an e-commerce system. So architectural frameworks tells about the structure and operation, how e-commerce operates their activities. So what is the structure of e-commerce, how it is establishing, so how it is functioning, how it is taking the orders, how it is rendering the services, what are the methods it is following in logistics to deliver the products to the customers. What is the payment gateway method it is utilizing? What are the security? What are the secure systems it is providing to the customers while paying the payment to the order which is placed by the customer. Okay, so there are different layers of e-commerce architectures are there. So first one is presentation layer, user interface. For example, website and applications, these are user interface. If any customer wants to buy, if any customer wants to purchase a product, simply he'll go to the website, simply he will open the application of the e-commerce website. Okay, next technologies, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, these are presentation layers. Okay, next application layer, it handles the business logic. For example, product to catalog, cart, checkout. For see, if we are doing shop if you are shopping with the help of Amazon, so if you want to buy the products, for every single product you need to you no need to place an order. If you want to buy a bulk of products, simply you can add them into a cart. So after adding your products into the catalogs or into the cart, into the checkout, then finally you can go with the placing of order. Okay. So for this, the technologies will be used PHP, Java, Python. So these are all application will be used for the application layer. Next, the third one is service layer. Okay, service layers are web services, middleware, APIs to manage communications between systems. Okay, service layer is how a communication will be managed between system to system. Okay, so the fourth one is data layer. Data layer means database storing product information and user data. So database is very important. If a customer wants to buy a product, so he has to enter his complete details, what is his name, his mobile number, his mail ID, and it address to get the products. If the address is given, product will be delivered to the particular address. This user data will be maintained by the e-commerce website. Okay, that's why database layer is very important. So to create the database layer, the technologies will be used SQL, DBMS, database management systems. Okay, so the last one is infrastructure layer. Infrastructure layer, in infrastructure layer, hardware, hosting, cloud server, security. So these are very important. When payment is taking place after placing an order, and servers and securities are very important. So security, what is the security is giving to the customer for their trust and pay, trust for the payment of the customer. Okay, so these are all the layers of e-commerce architecture. First one is presentation layer, second one is application layer, third one service layer, fourth one data layer, fifth one is infrastructure layer. Okay, so the third one is networks and protocols in e-commerce. So what are the networks and what are the protocols we'll be using in e-commerce? Okay, so network types: internet, intranet, and extranet. Okay, there are three types of networks are there. The first one is internet, primary medium for global e-commerce. Internet means it's a networks of networks. Okay, one system will be connected to the number of one system will be connected to the number of systems which are located in the world. It's a global wide network. Okay, and the intranet means internal corporate network. If a company is operating the business, that business is using a network within the corporate, within the business, that is called intranet. Okay, so extranet means shared network between business, one business to another business. A is doing business, B is doing business. If network is exchanged between one business to another business, that business is called extranet. Okay, internet is a primary for global e-commerce. Okay, the second one is internal network is called intranet. Okay, the third one is extranet, from one business to another business. If one business is sharing its network with another business, is called extranet. Okay, so then we'll look into the what are the protocols used. What are the protocols used in e-commerce? Means HTTP and HTTPS. HTTP is hypertext transfer protocol. The purpose is to create web pages, web communication, secure via SSL and TLS. Okay, the next protocol is TCP and IP. Okay, Internet Protocol. This is to communicate basic internet. Okay, next FTP, file transfer protocol. Next secured file transfer protocol. This is used to transfer the information, transfer the files. Okay, next SMTP and IAMP. If you want to communicate with the emails, you should have SMTP protocols. Okay, next SSL and TLS. So if business is sharing data in encryptive manner, then it is a secure communication. So if you want to encrypt your data, if you want to encrypt your file, while you are transferring from one system to another system, from one business to another business. What is the meaning of data encryption? Data encryption is nothing but converting meaningful information into the numbers and figures. The third person will not able to understand and is unable to decode it, known by only sender and receiver. What will be the code to be used to decode the to uh, to decode the encrypted data? Okay, so here for the data encryption and secure communication, SSL, structured socket layer, and TLS are very important. Okay, so in security protocol, SSL and TLS are very important to encrypt the data. Okay, next, set secured electronic transactions, ensure safeguard payments. So it ensured the safe debit card and credit card payments. Okay, if customer is going to purchase goods from the Flipkart or Amazon, while he is going to enter his credit card details like name of the customer, card number, and CVV and expiry date, these all details will be should be entered into the application or website of the e-commerce. So then, if a customer is entering his credentials, sensitive data into a website or into a e-commerce application, that should give the secured transaction. So they should have maintained a great security which should not lead to the frauds, which should not lead the financial insecurity of the customer. Okay. And next, digital signature and certificates. In security protocols, digital signature and certificates are very important. So it ensures the authenticity of the transaction. Okay, it ensures the authenticity of transaction. And sorry for the disturbance. And so there are networking hardwares are there. Okay, in networking infrastructure, networking hardwares are routers and switches, LAN cards. LAN means local area network. Okay, wireless routers and cables. So there, if the hardware is existed, if it work if we want to work it, it should have a software. So the networking softwares are network operations and management, and OS operation systems are important, and firewalls. Okay, next, satellites, wireless protocols. So these are all very important. So then, what is the meaning of site security? E-commerce security is a part of the information security framework. It specifically apply to the components that affect e-commerce, that includes computer security, data security, and other wider realms of information security framework. So site security means If the e-commerce is providing any site, it should must give the security while it is utilizing by the customers, because customer is entering his and customer will enter sensitive data into the website. Customer enter the service sensitive data into the e-commerce application. So that's the reason why e-commerce companies, e-commerce business should have a great security in the e-commerce website. So how firewall and network security works? A firewall is a hardware or software system that prevents unauthorized access to or from a network. So firewall, how if it is a firewall, if any unauthenticity data is coming, so this firewall will stop this unauthenticity data, which can destroy your meaningful data, which can destroy your information. So firewalls plays very important to stop unauthorized data from unauthorized users. Okay, it can be implemented in both hardware and software or a combination of both. Firewalls are frequently used to prevent authorized internet users from accessing private networks connected to the internet. So whenever we go somewhere, whenever we go some government offices or some important places, there will be network will be available there, but we are not supposed to get the access for their network. So if you try to get log into their network, their firewalls will stop us. Okay, so this is the importance of firewall and network security. So there are four types of firewalls are there. So first one is pocket firewall. Next one is stateful firewalls. Third one is supplication layer firewalls. Okay. The fourth one is proxy firewalls. Okay. So the first one is pocket firewall. So what is the meaning of pocket firewall? The earliest firewall functioned as pocket filters. Okay, inspecting packages that are transferred between computers on the internet. When a packet passes through, when a uh, when a packet passes through a pocket, it filters a file. Okay, it sources and destination address protocols and destination port number and checked against the firewall's rule sets. Okay, packet filter firewalls work mainly on the first three layers of the OSI reference model, physical data link and network. Although the transport layer is used to obtain the source and determination on port numbers. Okay, the second one is stateful firewall. So in order to recognize pocket connection state, the firewall needs to record all connections passing through it to ensure that enough information to access whether a packet is the state of new connection, a part of any connection. Okay. So this is what's called stateful packet inspection. Stateful packet inspection was first introduced in the year of 1994 by Checkpoint Software Firewall. Okay, so this is one of the advancement of the first one. What is the first one? Packet firewall. Okay, stateful firewalls are somehow better than packet firewalls. Okay, the third one is application layer socket. HTTP, FTP, DNS, when it is going to be misused. Okay, application layer packets will be as attacks against web servers become more common. Nowadays, if you see, hackers are more. Okay, so this firewall could help and protect the servers and the applications running on the systems and e-commerce businesses. Okay, so the last one is proxy firewall. Okay, firewall proxy servers also operate at the firewall's applications layer, acting as an intermediary for requests from one network to another network application. Okay. Proxy firewall prevents direct communications between either sides of firewall. A proxy server must be run for each type of internet applications the firewall will support, such as HTTP proxy for web services. Okay, proxy means it is acts on behalf of another firewall. Okay, it may be either this side or it may be either that side. Okay, so there are functions. So what are the functions of firewall? So limit internet access to email only, so that no other types of information can pass between the intranet and the internet. Okay, control who can telnet into your intranet. Okay, and the third one is limit what other kinds of traffic can pass between your intranet and the internet. Okay, it will limits and it controls and it limits the internet access. So that is why firewalls are very important. Okay, network level firewalls, application level firewalls, so these are all comes under network firewalls and security. Okay, so I think you have understood what is e-commerce and what is a framework. So a framework is intended to define and create tools that integrate the information found in today's closed system. So it is framework it is intended to define to create tools. Okay, so there are application servers are there. Already we have discussed in the previous classes, customers to business, business to business, inter-organization transaction. So these are all comes under application services of electronic commerce and site security. Okay, so the sixth unit is network and protocol. Okay, so what are the network? So networking is referred to a connecting computers electronically for the purpose of sharing information. Networking means what is a network? It is a connection of computers electronically to share the information. So this is a meaning of network. Resources such as files, applications, printers, and software are common information shared in a networking. The advantage of networking can be seen clearly in terms of security, efficiency, and manageability and cost effectiveness. So this is a main core introduction to the network. Simply we have to remember it. Networking means connecting the systems which are already located in throughout the world, throughout the global, to share the information from one computer to another computer is called internet. Okay, next. So connect of network and protocol. So the computer network consists of communication media, devices, and software needed to connect to our more computer systems and other and our devices. Today, when we speak of networks, are generally referred to three primary categories. One is LAN. Already I told you. LAN means local area network. Next one is MAN, metropolitan area network. Next, the last one is WAN, 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 wide area network. Excuse me. So the local area network connects two or more communicating devices within 20,000 feet. So local area network connecting two or more communicating devices which are within 2000 feet. Okay. Every user device on the network has a potential to communicate with every other device. Okay. The second one is metropolitan area network is designed to extend over an entire city. Okay, local area network is small. Metropolitan area network is confined to the city, which is bigger than LAN, local area network. Okay, so next, the last one is wide area network. Provides long distance transmission of data, voice, image, and video information over large geographical areas that may be comprise a country a continent or even in the whole world. Wide area network is confined to the whole world. Metropolitan area network is confined to a city. Local area LAN is confined to a company or corporation. So LAN, a man is bigger than LAN and WAN is bigger than man. Okay, so this is a three types of networks. Okay, so there are some open system interconnections model, which we can say OSI. Okay, OSI model is not network architecture because it does not specify the exact services and protocols for each layer. It simply tells that each layer should do by defining its input and output data. It is up to network architects to implement the layers according to their needs and resources available. These are the 7 layers of OSI model. So what are the 7 layers of OSI means? The first one is physical layer, second one is data link layer, third one is network layer, fourth one is transport layer, next session layer, next presentation layer, the last one is application layer. Okay, so let's get into the each for the clear understanding of the OSI model. Okay, first one is physical layer. Physical layer is the first layer that physically connects two systems that need to communicate. So if one system wants to communicate with another system physically, it is connects to the one system to another system. It transmits the data in bits and manages simplex or duplex transmission by a modem. Okay, we use modem, right, for the internet. So that is physical layer also manages networks interface, card hardware interface to the network like cabling, cable terminators, and topography, voltage levels. So these are all comes under physical layer. Okay. So the next one is data link layer. It is a firmware layer of network interface card. It assembles datagrams into frames and adds starts to and stop flags to each frame. It also resolves problems caused by damaged, lost, or duplicate frames. So data link layer is a layer of network interface card. With the card, with the help of data card, we can use data link layers. Okay, the next one is network layer. It is connected with routing, switching, and controlling flow of information between the workstations. It also breaks down the transport layer datagrams into smaller datagrams. Okay, it means that it's concerned with routers. It concerns with switching and controlling flow of information between the workstations. Okay, so the next one is transport layer. Till the session layer, file is in nodes in own form. When transport layer breaks down into a data frames, provides errors, checking at network segment level, and prevents a fast host from overrunning is slower one. Transport layer isolates the upper layers from network hardware. Okay. Then session layer, presentation layer, and application layers are there. They have given a picture one, step by step. Okay, transport layer end-to-end encrypted, network layer, network addressing, routing and switching, data link layer, error detection and flow control and physical layer, application layer, message format, human machine interfaces. Okay, next transmission control protocol and internet protocol, TCP and IP. So what are the TCP stands for? Transmission control protocol or internet protocol is a set of layered protocols used for communication over the internet. The communication model is this suite is client service model. A computer that sends a request is a client and computer to which the response is sent is the server. Okay. So computer sends data, application, transport, internet, network access. Next, it's go to the network access, internet, transport, application from one computer to another computer with the help of TCP and IP model. Okay. So the next one is HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Hypertext Transfer Protocol, it is an application layer protocol. Okay. The purpose of HTTP is mainly used for the retrieval of data from websites throughout the internet. So if you want to retrieve the data from the websites throughout the internet, HTTP will be helping. Okay. And HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, works on the top of TCP and IP suite of protocols. Okay. So client requires the service and a server, and servers requires the client. Okay. This is a client server model of HTTP. Okay. HTTP opens a connection between the client and server through TCP. HTTP sends a request to the server, which collects the requested data. HTTP sends the response with the objects back to the client. Next, HTTP closes the connection. When data is shared from one servers to client, then the HTTP close the connection. Okay. So there are non-persistent connections and persistent HTTP connections. They have given some differences and examples. Let's get into the example of non-persistent HTTP connection. For example, suppose a request has been made for a HTML page that contains 10 images. Then with non-persistent connection, all the 11 objects, one page plus 10 images, will be sent one by one. For getting each object, a new separate connection will be opened and used. This is called non-persistent HTTP protocol. In persistent HTTP connection, suppose a request has been made for HTML pages that contains 10 images, that images can be called as an objects. Okay, we have to remember that. Then with persistence connection, all 11 objects, 11 means 1 is page and 10 are images. Okay, will be sent one after the other using a single TCP connection. Okay, this is a major difference between these two things. Okay, so the next one is secured HTTP, hypertext transfer protocol, is an extension to HTTP that allows the secure exchange of files on the World Wide Web, www. Okay, so HTTP file is either encrypted, contains a digital certificate, or both. For a given document, secured hypertext transfer protocol is an alternative to another well-known security protocol, that is SSL, Secure Socket Layer. A major difference is that secured hypertext transfer protocol can be authenticated. Okay, so this is a very important thing. Okay, next, simple mail transfer protocol, SMTP. So these protocols are very important. There is a chance that you will get the question into the annual examination. Okay, so SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. Okay, it is set of communications guidelines that allow software and transmit an electronic mail over the internet is called. It is very simple. It is a set of communication guidelines that allows software to transmit with sharing the information from one electronic device to another electronic device with the help of email over the internet. Okay, it is very simple to remember. If the data is transferred and shared with the help of email, electronic mail, it gives the guidelines. Okay, so it is a program used for sending messages to other computer users based on email address. For example, Dr. Vijay Kumar Tokala at the rate of gmail.com is an address. If you want to share any information with the electronic mail, simply you have to enter the address of the mail ID, then you can share the information or data. Okay, so user get the information with the help of internet. Okay, so here what we have to do, we have to compose the mail. Okay, we have to submit the mail, and we have to check whether mail is delivered or not, and receipt and processing of mail. Next, access and retrieval of mail, which means the stored email in MDA can be retrieved by using MUA, which means mail user agent. Mail user agent can be accessed by using login and password. So login credentials are very important to get into the email. Okay, the next one is SSL, secure socket layers. Okay, the SSL protocol was originally developed by Netscape. This is very important. SSL protocol was originally developed by Netscape and to ensure security of data transported and routed through HTTP, LDAP, or POP3 application layers. Okay, SSL is designed to make use of TCP as a communication layer to provide a reliable end-to-end secure and authenticated connection between 2 points over a network. So for understanding purpose, let's get into one example. For example, between the service client and the server, if they want to exchange information, the secured socket layers will give a more security. Okay, notwithstanding, this SSL can be used for protection of data in transit in situations related to any network service. It is used by mostly in HTTP server and client applications. Okay, so what are the objectives of SSL structure, secured socket layer? Authenticating the client and servers to each other. It provides authentication to the client as well as server. Ensuring data integrity. During a session, data cannot be either intentionally or unintentionally tampered. Okay. Okay. So ensuring data integrity is important objective of the SSL. The third one is securing data privacy. Okay, data in transport between the client and the servers must be protected. Okay, this is very important as we are discussing since the beginning of the class. Okay, for interception can be readable only by the intended recipient. This prerequisite is necessary for both the data associated with the protocol itself, securing traffic during negotiations, and the application data that is sent during the session itself. Okay, so for this we are getting OTPs, calls, and these are all secured socket layers. Okay, this is all about network protocols. I think you have clearly understood what is HT, what is OSI, what is HTTP, what is SMTP, what is TCP IP, what is SSL, what are the LAN, WAN, MAN. Okay, so these are all important things. So the seventh unit is internet concepts and technologies. Okay, so already we have discussed internet means it's a connection between many computers to share the information. Okay, so there are so many networks existing in the world, often different hardware and software, but internet is a term which is very common to all, irrespective to any age groups. Perhaps there is no such human being in the universe who is unaware of the term of internet. It's true, right? So almost everyone might have heard about the word of the terminology of internet. In other words, internet is the backbone of rapid growth of technological solutions. So in any sector, it may be anything. It may be banking sector, insurance sector, finance, accounts, life sciences, social sciences, and everything. If you take, technology has been incorporated in every sector for the development and growth of the particular department, particular sector. Okay. So, being a commerce student, so we should have known that fintech, financial technology. So, when the internet technology, information systems are introduced in the financial organizations, financial services, financial activities, that is called fintech, which gives drastic, which already given a drastical change and development in the financial institutions. Okay, so this is how internet plays very important role in our daily life. For example, if you are listening to this class, it is based on internet only. Without internet I cannot teach and you cannot listen this class. Okay, so there are some common definitions were given. A network of network based on the TCP and IP communication protocols. Simply we can say network is a networks of net. Okay, and a community of people who use and develop those networks and internet based services. Okay, for example, some of what are the basic services of internet? Email, a fast, easy and inexpensive way to communicate with other internet users around the world. Okay, so telnet, it allows a user to log into a remote computer as through it were a local system. FTP, file transfer protocol, Usenet use WW, World Wide Web, a hypertext interface to internet information resources. Okay, so evaluation of internet means in the internet has a popular and well-known history, and it has become across a long way to reach its current position. When traditional circuit switch to telephone networks are considered too vulnerable, DOD, Department of Defense of USA, turned to its research arm, Advanced Research Product Agency, ARPA. ARPA was created in response of the Soviet Union launching Sputnik in 1957 and had been a mission of advancing technology that might be useful to the military. So this network is popularly known as ARPANET. In the late 1970s, NFS, the National Science Foundation, found the enormous impact of ARPANET was having. This is all the history how it is evolved the internet. Okay, so there are basic concepts of internet like WW stands for World Wide Web. A technical definition of the World Wide Web is all the resources and users on the internet that are using the hypertext transfer protocol. A broader definition comes from the organization that web inventor Tim Berners-Lee. So he is a inventor of the web, World Wide Web. Tim Berners-Lee. Okay, W3C, it is also consortium of W3C. The World Wide Web is the universe of network accessible information and embodiment of human knowledge. In simple terms, the World Wide Web is a way of exchanging information between computers on the internet. Okay, tying them together into a vast collection of interactive multimedia resources, hypertext transfer protocol, websites, web servers, web browsers. Okay, so what are the examples of web browsers? Netscape Navigator, Microsoft Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox on the web. Okay, when we navigate through pages of information, it is commonly referred browsing as browsing or surface. Okay, so ISP stands for Internet Service Provider. Okay, DNS stands for Domain Name System. W3C stands for World Wide Web. So these are all the important things. So next, get into the web technologies. So web technology means a web technology refers to the means by which computers communicate with each other using markup languages, multimedia packages. For example, HTML, hypertext markup language, and cascading style sheets, which used to develop the web pages. Okay, So these are the HTML is a hypertext markup language which helps to develop the which helps to create the web pages. Next, dynamic hypertext markup language is a just name suggests adds dynamics moving and changing content to our plain old HTML pages. Next, Java, CSS, cascading style sheets. It's a relatively new language designed to expand upon the limited style properties of HTML. Next, DOM, document object model. Next, PHP hypertext processor. Next, Python, Ruby, .NET, C++, C#, SQL, structured query language, Flash, okay, CGI, RPRL. Okay, these are all the web technologies, XML, extensible markup language. Okay, so these are all the web technologies which helps to create web pages over the internet. Next, global publishing concept. Web publishing is a process of publishing original content on the internet. If we, for example, if you are writing any content, which simply we can say that creating internet blogs. Okay, so if you want to publish your information or content, then you have to create a blog and you can publish it. Okay, hypertext? What is hypertext? A software system allowing extensive referencing between related sections of text. Associated graphic material is known as hypertext. If it is in a graphic material, it is known as a hypertext. So is a text which is not constraints to be linear. Okay, so uh, so there is another thing that what you see is what you get. WISIWIG, pronounced Wiz e wig, which means editor or program is one that allows to developer to see what end result will look like while the interface of document is being created. Okay, so it is an acronym for what you see is what you get. Next, URL, Uniform Resource Locator. A uniform resource locator is the address of the resource on the internet. A URL indicates the location of the resource as well as the protocol used to access it. A URL contains the following information. So what are the information? The protocol used to do a access the resource, the location of the server, okay, and port number. So these are all will be given in the, see, for example, I will give you a simple example. If you have entered the name address of the website, here that you will get https://www.google.com. So wherever the address is locating, that it is called URL. Okay, uniform resource locators. So there are some servers are there and gateways are there. Okay, so site security firewalls, already we have discussed what are the site security firewalls is to stop the attacks, malware, and blacklisting, vulnerability exploits, defacement, okay, stolen data, phishing schemes, session hijacking, malicious redirection, CO spams. So this site security layers will stop the things which are unauthenticated. Okay, so this is a block 3 regarding networks, okay, and web technologies and these all. So I will meet the next class with Black 4. Thank you, guys.